Hi, everybody, and welcome to Watch It or Don't. I'm Tom. This is Matt and Dan. And today we're going to do another classic review for you. Today we'll be reviewing 2001 A Space Odyssey, directed by Stanley Kubrick. And the whole point of these classic reviews is we want to let you know about some of our favorite films. Some of them are extremely well known, like 2001. Some of them not so much. But we just think that they're important for anyone who loves film and needs to really they need to see these classic movies to have a broader understanding of how they work. And 2001 is a really important one because it is such a technical masterpiece and it is such an influential movie that it really is a must-see for anyone studying film or just kind of casually learning about the history of film.
Definitely, it's a masterpiece. I'm going to say it right there. Yeah. It's a film that I've seen probably 4 or 5 times, and I get something new out of it every time. You can analyze this film in so many different ways, which is so cool. Even just like before this review, I was thinking about it. It's like, oh my gosh, I never thought about this that way. Mm-hmm. And this is like, 3 or 4 years after I've seen it the first time, I'm still unraveling different themes. This is, like Tom said, it's a sci-fi, and it really deals with the entire rise of an evolution of man, which it starts out with kind of like ape creatures as they kind of evolve into humans using tools is like their big kind of evolutionary...
Yeah, the discovery of using
tools.
A weapon.
Right, yeah. And then kind of skips ahead way to the future in 2001. And mankind is, they have these spaceships, they're going around, and they discover this mysterious object on the moon, which leads to a quest beyond Jupiter, and kind of gets into our main plot line where there's these 2 astronauts looking for this new something out there when you have a computer that kind of controls the ship called HAL 9000.
And none of the living crew members are really told what they're looking for. It's something that's kind of kept secret, and they'll be informed of the actual mission once they get there. But it's top secret stuff. They're not allowed to talk about it. They don't even know about it. So it's a very, very clearly in kind of a sci-fi that is definitely from that era where we aren't in our current information internet age, and so it was a bit more extreme. Their kind of idea of the future, and I mean this.
But in a lot of ways, it's the same.
Right. I mean, it's the general or the specifics that are extreme, but then the general idea is the same. Especially with like the reliance on artificial intelligence now, or artificial intelligence as in like Siri, but like it's kind of born of the same thing. And I mean, this movie was made before we walked on the moon,
which is crazy.
I mean, and it's
that is one of the cool bits.
If you see, kind of some of the stuff, the way they do the moon bases and the way they do the space stations, it's insane how, technically difficult it would have been, especially then. Right. Even now would be difficult.
This is a very visual movie. I recommend, if you're going to watch this, get it on Blu-ray, get it on the biggest TV possible, highest definition, and just enjoy it. Even if you're not into this movie as an existential exercise, you will appreciate the visuals.
So if you're wondering why I haven't said anything yet, which is rare for me not to talk, it's not like I didn't love the movie. I think it's a good movie, and I respect it for what it is. It gets a little too artsy when we start, looking at everything about it. The other big thing is I'm not a huge space guy, but I did enjoy this movie. It's a very long movie. You got to know that. It's a very long movie, and there's not too much dialogue all in all. I think if you balance all that stuff, so you've got to be in a certain kind of mood if you're going to watch this. I don't know. I love Stanley Kubrick, but this one, it's one that you definitely have to watch for pop culture reference. Like you were saying with HAL 9000, even if you ask your Siri phone, like, Siri, what can you tell me about HAL? She'll actually say something fun. You should try that later.
And I mean, if you guys have seen WALL-E, Otto is
they make fun of
parody of HAL.
But that being said, I don't love this movie. I respect this movie, but I don't love this movie. It was one I had to cross off my bucket list. It was actually the first time I've seen the whole thing when I watched it with you guys.
I would recommend people to see it, obviously, but I'd recommend people who have seen it once and kind of went, watch it again.
Well, I'm not saying I won't ever watch again, but I'm good for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you kind of pick up more every time you see it. And, I mean, I first watched it in maybe the 8th grade. And you don't,
feel like that's heavy for an 8th grader.
Right, you get stuff out of it, absolutely, but I probably watched every 2 or 3 years, and it's you kind of forget just how amazingly beautiful it is. Like you said, if it's not your thing to be in the whole existential human race thing, I mean, just the colors and
the images with the
music
is
music,
fantastic.
it's
all classical.
All classical music, some great classical pieces in there.
There's a really kind of long and crazy and weird sequence towards the end where it's nothing that you've ever seen before. It's kind of like image of a wormhole or something. Something that we don't actually know what it looks like, and it's just kind of crazy to see
how someone would film something like that. Yeah, it's crazy.
And it really is. It is a beautiful and terrifying experience.
Yeah, Kubrick says a lot of interesting things in this movie. A lot about what human nature is, and I think a lot of his other films, if you've watched, Paths of Glory, Clockwork Orange, he's kind of showing you how terrible man can be to each other.
There's definitely some bits of that.
And a lot of The Shining too, and like Full Metal Jacket. It's all about how terrible things are. You can kind of see his point of view through this. Yeah. This film's a little bit different. It shows that side. It shows how man became that, it evolved, and it shows how even if we use all this great technology, it's very sterile technology. Yeah. That there's still kind of like this killer instinct within us. That can, and even with the HAL 9000, it's a computer, but it was a man-made computer.
Right.
Which is interesting. But this is the one Kubrick film that really gives some kind of hope for humanity. And I don't want to spoil too much, but it's kind of an artificial hope, I would say. It's like man didn't evolve naturally into like this more evolved man. It was helped along by...
It's just like a circle of life type thing.
Kind of, yeah.
To oversimplify it.
Yeah,
It
definitely is, but you're right. There is the very clear duality of the murdering primitive beings that we are and this absurdly technical and advanced kind of system we have, and it blurs the lines between the two.
I mean, like the future scenes, they're supposed to be like this world at peace, and it's all very good. There's all this technology, but he also shows you there's satellites with nukes flying around the Earth.
Yep.
And it's not. We may think it's peaceful, but it's maybe not. And he kind of goes like a love-hate thing with technology. Like sometimes the technology is trying to kill you in this movie. Other times he like focuses on their beauty. Like the whole scene of the spaceships flying to the classical music. It's kind of like a beautiful thing. You watching this tool of mankind float through space. It's just like it's very beautiful in a way.
Well, what would you guys rate the movie?
This one is a clear case for me. This is an amazing movie. This is the top tier of filmmaking right here. I mean, I think he's not necessarily my favorite, but Stanley Kubrick is one of the most important and talented directors out there, and this I think is just the centerpiece to his work.
And was this in the middle of his career more, or was this towards the beginning?
Yeah, it's 68, so this is after Dr. Strangelove.
Okay.
Yeah.
Prior to more of his, like, in the 70s. Right before Clockwork Orange, I believe.
Right.
Okay.
So,
cool. What about you, Dan?
This is a 9.8 for me out of 10.
Holy crap.
It's pretty high. It's not my top movie. It's in my top 5. I don't give 10s. I'm saving a 9.9 for that one movie that might blow me away even more.
That special movie he's been waiting for.
I'm waiting for it. But 9.8, this is the best you can get, really. It transcends time in terms of both the story and, it's decades.
I see what you did there.
It's decades since it's been out, and it still packs that emotional punch that it did in the 60s, which is incredible.
So, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay, that's fine.
Keep that in mind, because it's not a movie that I'm going to sit down and watch over and over again, because like I stated, it's long.
You should, though.
Well, I will watch it again maybe one day, but it's not one that you're not going to be like, hey, I'm bored. How about we put 2001 Space Odyssey?
It's an investment.
No, it's an investment, and therefore, like, I respect it, so I enjoy it. But it also is a small bit of, I'm not a huge space person. The last space movie that blew me away was Interstellar, but I had low expectations.
Well, and it's funny you bring it up because, you say you have to watch it for the pop culture, but Interstellar is essentially a big love note to 2001.
Well, that's the reason why I say for watching it. And it's a part of why I respect 2001 Space Odyssey. So I'm giving it a 3 out of 5.
Okay. Fair enough. I don't know. I'd say find a Blu-ray player, find a 2001 copy.
If you are gonna watch it, make sure it's the highest. Right?
Maybe find a theater that's playing it. I know they streaming sometimes. Those are pretty awesome.
It's a different movie going experience. There's I want to say like 80 plus minutes of no dialogue.
Yeah.
Like that. And capped, by long sections of no dialogue, and then there's the opening of the movie. There's nothing on the screen, and it's very different from kind of the standard movie, but it you can tell that there's a reason why, and there's a reason why only someone like Kubrick could pull it off.
Yeah, it won't answer all your questions, but that's a good thing.
It will raise more.
Yeah, the more you watch it, the more questions you have, and for me, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I know some people might not like that. But anyway, we're Watch It or Don't. We should probably go. In the comments, what's your favorite Stanley Kubrick movie? There's a lot out there, a lot of very different ones. So tell us what you like. We're Tom, Matt, and Dan. Be sure to subscribe. Check us out on Twitter. And we're Watch It or Don't.